Hi everybody, Nick Fisher here, registered dietitian for CoreLife of Bel Air. Thanks for joining me today for Cooking Up with CoreLife. Today we're talking about my pantry stuffers, if you will. So before we get started, just to remind you that you can still call or email, get scheduled for your telehealth meeting with your care team, and you can still track your progress on the remote patient monitoring program in the CoreLife app. So let's get started. I like to think about my pantry items as kind of like a toolbox, okay? If you have those basic tools on hand, like hammers, nails, those kinds of things, like your food groups, your fruit, vegetable, grain, dairy, protein, you can then use those tools to build other things. And then with some additional supplies, like say nails and paint and glue, or example, spices and ways to season things and flavor up some different dishes, you can then build other things and make them more exciting. So we're gonna think about our food groups as like our tools and our spices and things like that as our supplies. So first, I always have a fruit that lasts a while, like apples, because they last a while, they're easy, they're simple, you can change them up, you can put them with a meal or with a snack. I'm more of a vegetable person, so I keep a little bit less fruit on hand because I'm just gonna eat way more vegetables. So that being said, my vegetables are simple. Again, I like the ones that last a long time, that are cheap. So potatoes, there's always a 5 or 10 pound bag of potatoes, and I'm always gonna have carrots, and I'm always gonna have onions. These three things last a long time, very nutrient dense and very inexpensive. So then I'm always also gonna have my canned veggies, because I can pack them with no refrigeration. They don't need any preparation. You know, tomatoes can become a soup, a sauce. They can be, added to rice, whatever. And canned green beans are just an easy item. Everybody likes those. So really simple ideas there. Then we'll go to our grain world. Okay, we have our instant rice because it's quick and easy. Don't make it hard. Like it's instant rice. It's brown rice. It's great. It keeps you consistent. Gives you a lot of what you need. Then we have our generic mini wheat cereal, huge nutrition profile. It can go as a meal or as a snack, and it's delicious. And what kids don't like that one? I have my Triscuits, and I have my tortilla shells, because who doesn't like some refried bean tacos or anything like that? These are great for snacks, but again, relatively inexpensive, and they last a long time. So our protein world, I always have eggs because we eat eggs for breakfast all the time. If not, we'll make dinners with them, and they're really cheap. This kind of chicken or canned chicken or other canned proteins like smoked oysters, tunas, sardines, easy to have on hand, frozen, last a long time. The canned ones don't need anything. It's an easy way to add to stuff. In addition with your peanut butter and refried beans, because peanut butter is such an easy thing to include, especially if you just need something quick and easy. So these are my simple protein tools, if you will. Then we have our dairies. I like cheese too much, so if I buy a bunch of it, I'm gonna eat a lot more of it. So I like to find one different cheese I haven't had and buy it every week. So I include it with my snacks, like my Triscuits with, say, smoked oysters. But having one option keeps you from overeating, but it's still like my staple item. I always have it on hand. This week I got a small thing of chocolate milk because I was just craving it. I always have a milk on hand because, again, it's an easy thing to add when I'm short in calories or short on time. So those are our tools, if you will. Let's go to the supplies. So aside from like your salt and pepper, which a lot of people have, we always have a bunch of spices in our cabinet. Rather than have too many of them and lose them in the back, I try to buy a couple that I know can be changed up a lot and added to things and combined with different things to make different stuff. So I have less things to choose from. So I always have a smoked paprika on hand because it's a great smoky flavor, and it goes well with something like a curry, a cumin, and also we go through a lot of garlic powder. So you can combine these kinds of things to make really flavorful ideas. I also like to have an easy broth on hand because you can add it to whatever you want, cook your rice in it, your pasta, you can make soups with it, and it's just versatile. Then I get a little more, a little different, but Parmesan cheese, not necessarily a spice, but it's a great tool or supply to add flavor to dishes, as well as say something like a spicy mustard and a barbecue sauce. And these things last a long time, so I'll buy one of these at a time and use it till it's gone, then try a new one out. And of course, you always have to have your pasta sauce. I'll use this to make pizzas too. I really don't care. But I know that a lot of times buying in a can is less expensive than those in a jar. So, if you can and you're gonna use up the whole thing, by all means buy it in a can. So those are some of the things that I use to pretty much keep me always stocked up enough that I can make anything and make it easy. And then any additional variety like fresh vegetables like broccoli or peppers or whatever, I can bring them in as I want them, but I always have these base vegetables. Forgot to mention, I always have frozen spinach in my freezer too, because it's an easy way to keep it a long time and add it in wherever I want. So, these are some ideas to think about for all of you. By all means, subscribe to our CoreLife channel on YouTube. Give us some feedback for this or other videos. We'll see you next time, and stay healthy.